Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART, time for Classic, and let me welcome you to Scarlet Nexus, a game developed by Toze and also Bandai Namco Entertainment. It is using Unreal Engine 4, and let's take a look on the graphical settings that I'm actually playing the game with the GTX 1650 Super. So my recommended settings, if you want to have a frame rate above 60 frames per second, it is just to play at 1080p maximum settings. So as you can see, this is the results that I had without recording. So I got a huge average of 125 frames per second and a minimum of 85. This frame rate test consisted in open world areas, cutscenes, and also fighting moments. So as you can see, no frame was below than 60 frames per second using the maximum settings. Although when you go to 1440p, you can expect some drops below 60 frames per second. Nothing too severe though, if you don't care about having drops in cutscenes or moments with a lot of effects, you can go with 1440p maximum or 1440p median if you want to enjoy above 60 frames per second all the time. As for a 4K, the maximum settings, I had drops below 30 frames per second when using the maximum settings during demanding combat moments or cutscenes, but if you go with median settings, you can expect your experience to be overall above 30 frames per second. So wrapping all these results together, as you can see, 1080p maximum settings completely above 60, same can be said about 1440p using median, but 1440p the maximum settings, I had pretty much an experience above 60, but there was drops here and there that pulled it down to lower than 60, and 4K maximum settings lower than 30 frames per second sometimes, and 4K median above 30. So these are the recommended requirements. So these games recommend a GTX 970 with 4GB of VRAM, 8GB of RAM, and a Ryzen 5 from the 2000 generation, and that's about it. So I will show you a little bit of gameplay. As you saw, I'm running the game at 1080p using maximum settings, and the frame rate, it is just absurd. The most demanding moments that I did found on this game are cutscenes. Cutscenes are great, especially in maximum settings. When you are using maximum settings, the depth of field effect, it is much more demanding than on median. So where I have noticed the biggest impact from median to high, it was really the cutscenes due to that effect, which is very well filtered. But if you want to go with median settings, the game still looks very good at median. The only drop in quality that I've noticed, it was on texture quality. The texture quality on this game doesn't change the texture quality by itself, it just changes the anisotropic filtering. So even if you go to median, my suggestion it is to keep your texture quality to high, because it's not really demanding. As for post-processing, like I told you, the difference that I've noticed, it was on depth of field, but it can also be in bloom and screen space and build occlusion, but noticeably I only noticed more during the cutscenes and that change in quality in depth of field. You might be thinking that, oh, it's noticeable, so probably depth of field when the post-processing it is on median, it looks very bad. No, it doesn't. The thing is, when using on high, the bokeh depth of field, it is very refined, and when using on median, it is slightly less refined. So it's something that you won't be noticing it unless you compare it side by side, or you memorize it more or less what you could see in high and what you could saw on median. Alright, so that's mostly just that, because it's not really a big difference. So whatever, if you go with median or high, the game visually looks pretty much the same. Alright, it's just that big difference that I've noticed in depth of field when it comes to performance. Alright, but nonetheless, this game, it is super well optimized, so I don't think you will be having performance issues. So you can go with 1440p or 1080p, it is fine. 4K, your experience, like as I told you, it will be more and less above 30, or if you go with 4K maximum, you can expect some drops here and there. Now let's talk a little bit about the game. So the first thing I want to tell about Scarlet Nexus is its visual art style and its graphics. I mean, whoa, the cutscenes of this game, the real-time cutscenes, and simply the animation stuff, the art style of the open world map, it's just, the visuals are just great. I mean, it's not really the best in the world graphics out there, and it's not really about it. It's really the art style. It is simply great. I really like what I'm seeing in here. on the cutscenes and everything. I'm not really a fan of the static image cutscenes, but the real-time cutscenes are simply amazing in my opinion. It looks like a really good anime that I'm watching on the TV, and I usually don't watch this kind of stuff. So it's really great. This is my opinion overall. The visual, artistic style, everything about the visuals in this game, it just nails it. Alright, this is just my opinion. When it comes to the opinion of the others that played much more of the game than me, people reference that the gameplay, it is king in this game. Gameplay, it is everything. So it is kind of an hack and slash, and you have psychokinesis types of attacks, and you will unlock tons of stuff, which will make the combat very, very interesting according to what I've seen so far, from what I've reading on online. It's really good. Now, the things that I do enjoy the most, I mean the cutscenes and story and the visual art style. The visual art style will continue throughout the game, but they say that the story eventually will fall apart a lot. It starts to get confusing, and it starts to fall short entirely. So this is one of the warnings that I've seen about the game. It is really, the story is not as good as we were expecting, and well, that is also other thing that isn't as good. The side content that this game have, they say that it's just fillers. It's not going to change anything in game. It's not going to modify you or anything. They are just fillers. They are just there just to take your time inside the world of the game, and well, that's about it according to reviewers out there. Now, this game, it is a full price game, so it should cost you on Steam $59.99, so it's super expensive, and it should last you for about, on average, between 20 to 25 hours, assuming that you will be doing some grinding and that you will fulfill some side content. I believe you will need to do it anyway to beat some of the bosses, maybe, because if you don't do it, you might be very low level or not have the enough skill to beat some of the bosses or some of the enemies. So probably this is what you're going to last mostly between 20 to 25 hours. But if it's not really the case of this game and you can do just the only main stuff of the game, I'm assuming that this is going to last much less than 20 hours. So it's not really a big game, but for me, I would say this is the type of hours that I do enjoy in game. I don't like games with 100 hours or more. I like games more, you know, more in between, not very small unless they are very focused action games or indies, but not as big because I might grow tired of it. So Scarlet Nexus have this duration according to them, and I guess that's all that I want to talk about Scarlet Nexus. So hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. That's it. Thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Just be careful. Don't push yourself too hard. Yeah, I know, but there are a lot of others. Some people won't be able to get away. Right, okay. Let's buy them some time.
It's done.
It's not safe here. Please, hurry to the shelter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. There's still another left. You ready?
Yes. We have to make sure no one else gets hurt.
Let's eradicate it.
I wonder how many others there are. I don't know. Don't let your guard down. We'll take them out as we find them. Got it.
Damn. I'm not done yet.
Kisane. It's them. The guys I saw at Sumeragi Tomb. 10 seconds from now.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Even I can tell. You take care of the guy who got knocked down just now. I can handle that other alone.
Got it.
Now die!
That's odd. You a civilian?
Huh? It's her. Oh.
You're OSF?
Oh, no, I'm a cadet.
I see. Either way, our goal is the same.
What do you mean, goal?
Are you an idiot?
Huh?
Shh. Something's coming.
Huh? What's coming?
Here we go.
Huh? Okay.
You're OSF too. You can use Brain Talk.
Do you see what's happening? Let's talk after we take out the others.
Damn you! That was close.